Just Teach UK followers. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about teachertag, which is basically where I answer 10 questions all about myself. Without further ado, here they are. So the first question is, how long have you been teaching and what grades have you taught? So I have been teaching for 16 years now in primary, and I have taught from year 1 up to year 6. I specialised in Key Stage 2 whilst I was at university, but they always made sure that you had experience in the other Key Stage as well. So I started off in a year 5 class for my first placement, and in my second placement I was in year 1, and my third placement I was in year 4, and then my final placement was in year 3. Since graduating, I have taught in a number of year groups, and I've not really got a favourite. A lot of teachers are asked, what's your favourite year group? Who's your favourite to teach? And I don't actually have one. I really enjoy all the year groups. Don't really know where to start because I feel like I've been in education my entire life, which effectively I have, but I went to secondary school, I did my GCSEs, I then moved on, did my A-levels. I did it at the same school that I did my GCSEs because we had a sixth form there. I then decided I wanted to go to university, and I did a Bachelor of Education at university, which at the time was a 4-year course, as I've just said. So I did several different placements whilst I was there, and then pretty much started teaching straight after I left university. I taught in the UK for 6 years, and then I moved to Kuwait, where I taught for 7 years, and then I moved back to the UK, and I've been in the UK now again for 3 years. Question 2. What grade do you currently teach, and where do you teach? What year group? So I currently don't have a year group that I teach in because I am sort of doing supply teaching. My main focus at the moment is to work on my website JustTeachUK.com, which is to provide resources for teachers and educators. And I will be doing a little bit of supply teaching here and there because I don't feel that I'm leaving teaching completely. I just feel like I'm taking a side step out for the moment and helping teachers and children in other ways. So the third question is, what is your school mascot? Or what are the houses in your school? In the schools that I've worked at previously, we have had houses which are basically just named after colours, so red, blue, yellow, green. I've also worked in schools where it is based around a famous person or something to do with the local area. I've not really worked in a school where there has been a mascot necessarily, but all schools that I've worked in have some kind of motto which they abide by and they focus on with the children. Question number 4 is, how many children are in your class? So with the class that I've just left, there were 21 children in the class, which was great because it was a year 6 class and it meant that I could focus on certain children in the class. I know that there are class sizes in the UK which are 30 plus, and it varies school to school how many children they have in their classes. The next question is, what's your ideal class size? And I think that's a really difficult question because if you have a smaller class, it means that you can really focus in on those children and target those children for support. And you feel like you can get to know them a little bit more when you have a smaller class. But likewise, when you have a larger class, it means that when you're doing things like debates, teams games, that sort of thing, it does make it easier because you've got a lot of children to choose from. So I wouldn't necessarily say that there is a class size that would be my favourite, but when I taught in Q8, I had one class size that I think I had about 12 children in the class, and that to me was a really nice size because it was an even number, meaning that I could pair them up or put them into groups easily, and I really felt like I could support those children. So question number 6 is, what is your favourite drink at Starbucks? I don't really have a favourite drink at Starbucks really. It's not somewhere I go regularly, but if I had to choose, then I would probably go for something really boring like a vanilla latte. So the next question is question number 7. What is your favourite online resource for teachers? Well, I have to say JustTeach.com really, don't I? But there are other websites that I have used previously which have been great. TES is somewhere that I go to quite a lot, not just for resources but also for advice, and I really like the columns that they've got on there which have lots of research and just interesting articles. Question number 8 is, describe your perfect classroom. Wow, I mean, I would go all out if I could have my perfect classroom. I think it would be somewhere which would be really light. It would be a nice big space, but I also would be able to divide it up easily into workspaces. I would have a lot of areas for resources and accessible for the children. I would have a huge reading corner or library reading area where the children could hide out and just chill when they're reading. I would have an area which is basically for computing, where they would be able to access iPads, tablets, whatever, easily to be able to do research. I would love an area just outside the classroom which is a gardening area where they could plant things and grow things and watch them grow straight out of their classroom window. I would also have an area which is just for maths, where there would be a maths working wall and resources would all be readily available for them there. The tables, I would arrange them into sort of groups, but then also I quite like having strange shaped tables as well. And all the children would be able to see the board, which sounds a bit strange, but I have worked in some schools where the boards have been placed in very strange places, so not all children have been able to see, and I've had to orientate the classroom and the tables in a really strange way so that they could actually see the board. I personally like to have a whiteboard and an interactive whiteboard separately, so I would definitely have space for that, but I would also have a movable whiteboard because I like to use lots of different areas for different things. I would also have a lot of things dangling because a lot of people that I've worked with know that I like dangly things hanging from the classroom. And yeah, just lots of space for things for storage. I would have a teacher's desk. Some schools say that teachers don't need desks and they just make a great big mess when they do have them, but as you can see, I like a tidy work area, so I would definitely have a teacher's desk, an area for the teacher to put their resources. So question number 9, tell us your favourite or least favourite thing about teaching. I think my favourite thing about teaching is the impact that you have on children. I think I knew from quite a young age that I wanted to be a teacher just because I was inspired by the teachers that had taught me, and the reason I do it, the reason that I get up and do the job every day is because of the impact that it has on those individuals, and to see someone grow and change in such a short amount of time, and that you have contributed to that is amazing. So that's one of my favourite things about teaching. My least favourite things about teaching would probably be how much you feel the pressure to get things done. I always used to say that it was like going around a hamster wheel. You would go round and round and round and you never felt like you got to the end of it. I think as you get more experienced as a teacher, you realise that there is not necessarily any end to it, but you learn to maintain and manage your time effectively, and you realise what things are important and what things are, what is not important. So yeah, it's tough in the beginning. As time goes on, you learn how to manage your time more effectively and learn not to worry about certain things. And the final question is, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about becoming a teacher? Do it. Absolutely, 100% do it. I think it has given me so much confidence that I am forever in its debt. I thoroughly enjoy teaching. I think anyone that wants to do it should just give it a go and enjoy getting your first class, enjoy sharing the world of learning with children is amazing. And when little Bobby understands the fractions that you've been working on with him for the past couple of days, and that light bulb moment, it is the most amazing thing to see, and to feel like you've contributed to that for a child is the best thing ever. So all I would say to that person who's thinking about doing it is just do it. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed my teach tag. If you would like to ask me a question, or if you'd like some advice, or if you've got any ideas about any other vlogs that I could do, if you could comment below, that would be great, or send me an email to JustTeachUK@gmail.com, and I will see you soon.